Hello everybody, my name is Paul. I'm a country realtor in the western part of Virginia near Lexington in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the negotiation process that happens in real estate. There's a lot of people who buy homes and maybe it's their first time and they don't have much familiarity with the whole process of negotiation. And that's why professionals get involved in the process of selling and buying homes. Because as a buyer, it's good to have a buyer agent for yourself to represent you in the process. And if you're a seller, it's good to have an agent on your side when you want to sell your property. Because there's a lot of negotiation that happens, and when people hear the word negotiation, there's a lot of connotations to that. For example, you can be at a street vendor and they're selling some trinket or something, and you negotiate with them and they want $50 and you keep saying $25, and eventually you come down to $29, and then you negotiate, and that's how it works, because the vendor knows, hey, maybe there's a sucker, I'll try to charge 50 and maybe I'll get 29, I'll be lucky. So that's one kind of negotiation. In real estate, you don't really do that type of really dramatic negotiation very often, because essentially the whole goal is we don't want to waste any time. We don't want to say I'll charge the moon and I'll charge $1 million for this $200,000 property, and I don't care what they say, and if you want to nickel and dime me, fine. We'll finally come down to, nobody wants to waste any time with that. So what we try to do is have a total win-win situation, all on board, all integrity, all completely perfectly done and properly done, so that everyone's happy. That's the goal of a real estate transaction. There's a lot of money involved. Now, the thing about negotiation, let's say we're going to use a price here on a house that I did one time, and the house itself was a good solid house. It was about 45 years old, and it had a really solid foundation and nice roof and everything. Had a special kind of yard for the area, and in an area where they were doing a lot of renovations and upcoming place, and it was very, very good type of house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Now, it had a problem, because not a real serious problem, but the bathroom had been a tenant and they didn't take care of it. It was a mess, okay? And it really, frankly, there were tiles missing on the floor. And honestly, after 45 years, that's the kind of house you say, hey, look, let's just do the bathroom over. Brand new bathroom, everything's fantastic, okay? And the kitchen was okay, but it could use the same kind of treatment. The appliances were good and new. It had a gas stove and a nice refrigerator, but you look around the cabinets and so on. And okay, so now, if you're a flipper and you want to come in there, and let's say we're going to use some real numbers here, they're just round numbers on the sample property. I looked up the research on that particular property, and I was finding out that a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in that particular area was going for, anywhere from 140 in the lower end to 180. You start to get some really nice looking remodeled homes, but they didn't have the same yard that this property had. It didn't have a garage. This one had the listing price. This listing property that I was doing had a garage and had a nice solid foundation and 2 off-street parking as well. So it's really hard to compare exactly what the square footage, the features, and so on, what the price would be, because you're in the ballpark, a single-family home between 150 and 200. Oh man, in a popular town, it's going to sell. The question is, as a buyer, how are you going to negotiate that? So let's say you want to flip the house, and you figure, okay, at 1,400 square feet, I can probably get 180,000 for that house, all fixed up, ideally. Okay, now I'm going to put 10 grand in it because it's got a great bath. Just put a new bathroom in, some cosmetics, and da. It's going to be fine. So I put 10 grand into the property. Not too bad. And then I want to make 20 grand on it, let's say. So they want 30,000. So if the market price for that particular house is 180, and you're going to put 10 into it, and you want to profit 20, then you want to get that thing at around 150. Now, there's another type of buyer who might see a better opportunity because he doesn't need that extra $20,000 of flipped cash. A home buyer could go in that particular property and say, look, I know how to fix the bathroom. Worst case scenario, I'll hire somebody to fix the bathroom. If I can get the property at 150, I'm gold, because that's really nice for me, because I'm going to put 10 grand in it. For all practical purposes, I only put in the 160. I don't have to make that extra top profit that a developer might have to make, like a flipper, you see. So another thing is confidently going in. Let's say the developer goes in there and a builder, and he says, look, that's an easy fix. I can renovate that bathroom in one weekend with my crew, 2 or 3 people, and throw in some new tubs and bathroom fixtures and so on, and get yourself a new bathroom. Do the same in the kitchen, and you know, I can do it for less than 10 grand, and I don't care if I have to make 20 grand on it when I flip it. I'll just turn it over or something, and maybe I'll rent it out for a nice price or something. So there's a lot of different ways a buyer can look at buying that particular property. Now, if you're a homeowner, a flipper wants to flip it. He doesn't care so much about the real features of the property. But let's say a do-it-yourself type of buyer comes in and says, look, you know, my wife and I can live in the basement while we fix up the upstairs bathroom, and we got a beautiful yard, and it's going to great. It's already fenced, and my dog can be there, my kids can be there, and it's already got a deck, and I don't need to build that. I got off-street parking. Hey, you know, I see a lot of value in this house, and I don't mind the old bathroom, because I'll do something about that. And I'll one day, first I'll fix it up cosmetically to begin with, and when I save a little money, I'll just have it all total redone. So how you negotiate on buying and selling depends on your perspective and what you can bring to the table here. You know, the handy skills that you might have when you buy a property are your ace under the table. You see, you show your king, say, look, I'm a strong buyer, I got good finances, but I'm not telling you that I got a crew of friends over there with a bunch of good tools, and we'll have that bathroom renovated in one weekend, and we'll be celebrating, and within a month we'll have a fantastic yard and everything. So if you're a strong buyer and you really like what you are seeing, and you have the little ace under the table, so to speak, you say, look, I know what to do about that problem. I'll fix that thing, you know. Or for example, the small gutter problem, it's causing a little leakage, okay? So some people might look at that and say, oh my God, I got to call this contractor, it's going to be so expensive and whatever. But another person might look at it and say, look, my friends and I can fix that problem in one weekend and we're gold, okay? So it's all your perspective and your perception on what you're going to bring to the table and negotiate. And as a seller, let's say, you know, from the seller, again, so it's a win-win goal that we want. From a buyer's point of view, let's say a person they think, oh man, I got 5,000 off on that deal, you know, it's great. The guy went down 5,000. Well, the seller's got a win situation. He says, well, I was holding that property. It's costing me $1,200 a month just to hold it, and I got a great job I got to go to, and I got to move soon, and summer's going to come to an end. My kids got to get in school, and I'm happy to take that $5,000 off. It's no sweat to me. We're good, see? So as a buyer, it's good to have an understanding of what the position is of your seller. And that's a good thing to have your real estate agent on your side as a buyer agent, to start to think about some of these subtle nuances of negotiating and buying a property. And then, in the seller's point of view, okay, don't be too greedy to hold on to a property that you got a gold buyer. They're saying like a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, they say. So if you have a good solid offer and time is of the essence, and you got another opportunity and you need to move, or you want to move, or you're ready to move, and maybe you made a lot of money on the house in it already, so another $5,000 isn't a big deal, just let it go. Let it go. You won't regret it. So negotiating is an interesting process. Usually we start with very realistic numbers of real estate. We have to, because it's just, there's no sense in wasting anybody's time or trying to put ridiculous numbers out there or trying to buy or sell. If you want to buy a property, don't go offer like $50,000 under the listing price. That's not going to work. They're going to insult. They're not even going to talk to you anymore. And they might not even want you to come back with another offer, because like you lowballed them the first time. So go away, you know. So if you're going to make an offer on a property, be serious and be ready to back it up and say, okay, I'm gold. I'm ready to roll. Here's my money on the table. I got earnest money deposit, and I'm going to do it. And then the seller said, okay, I got my offer, I see it, I'm going to take this one because I don't want to wait anymore. I'm gold. Let's do the thing and let's sign the deal and make it happen. So negotiation in the real estate, it doesn't usually go back a bunch of times, like back and forth like the street vendor, 20, 30 times, and finally the guy goes down for $100 to $10, and then you buy it for $9 or something. So it's not like that in real estate. You might start like, let's say you start at $100,000, and then someone offers you 90, and then you come back with, okay, I'll go to 99 or 97 or something, and then it goes like that kind of. And then you come to a closing point after 2 or 3 backs and forth. Now, one of the last thing is, if you want to make an offer on a property and you really, really love it, ask yourself, where am I going to see another one, and when? Okay, if time is of the essence, you see a property you can deal with, you can fix, you can do something with, you can manage, you can clean that bathroom, whatever it needs to be done, but you got to get in there, make the strong offer, and follow through on it, and be ready to roll. Because as a strong buyer, there might be other people who are saying, honey, we'll just sleep on it. Well, if you're the people that don't sleep on it and just say, I'm doing it, then you're going to beat those other people. So in some markets, that makes a big difference. In the case when there's a lot of bidding, and I was in a market last year in a town of Virginia, Waynesboro actually, where they would get 10 offers in a week. So if you're thinking of making an offer, you better get your set together. You got to have your paperwork together. Talk to your realtor and say, we got to get this done by the end of the day. They usually what they do when they take offers like that, they'll say, okay, we're going to review offers by 7 p.m. on Saturday evening, and then we're going to pick one and we'll notify you by Monday morning or something. That's kind of how it works a lot of times. So we had to make an offer at one particular house where it was an acceleration clause, where it's like, okay, no matter what they bid, we're going $1,000 over that until X dollars. And this particular party that was involved, she won by $1,000. The other bid was just $1,000 less than hers, and she won because of the acceleration clause. So ask your realtor about that as well. Okay, now if you want to get something quickly and you want to be ahead of the other, sellers love somebody who says, hey, I don't care about the contingencies. The septic's fine, but I'll take care of it. I'll take care of that railing on the deck, whatever. I won't care about that. And sellers love that. If you go in, know what you're doing, you got that ace up the sleeve or something, and say, I know how to fix such and such, then you're going to be in a real strong position to say, look, I'm ready to close right now. I don't care about that little detail over there, the toilet that leaks. So that's a $15 item at the hardware store. So let's not worry about that. You see, so be a strong buyer, be a confident seller. Meeting of the minds is any meeting of the minds can be put on paper. There could be a standard contract that happens, and you can put contingencies in there, and you can put addendums in the contract. Say, look, we negotiated in this particular point here, and here are the details. Put it on paper, everyone signs, and it's good. So negotiation process, a little bit of summary. Be confident, be informed. Really go for it if you're a buyer and you really see what you want. Be willing to compromise some areas, and time is of the essence sometimes, and if you're holding on to a property too long and you don't sell it, you might not get another buyer for another month or two. You see, so it can make a huge difference. You go down in price. In the big picture, $10,000 on a $300,000 property is not a huge difference really in the long run. So again, thanks again for listening. I appreciate the feedback and the comments, and if you want to contact me about anything, I'm happy to do searching for people or checking properties in Virginia and answer any questions. So again, thanks for listening, and please like and share if you enjoy the content. I appreciate the feedback.